You know, I don't care if people believe in some guy because a belief doesn't make it real. You know what I'm saying? Millions of kids, if not billions of kids, every single year believe that Santa Claus is real. Still, yet their parents have to go buy their gifts. The belief in and children have the purest of belief than any fucking goddamn adult could possibly muster. You remember when you were a kid, it was capable, you were capable of believing anything. So belief doesn't make something real. Actual evidence makes something real. And again, truth and real are two different things. Your truth can be derived from things that are not real. They're subjective, they're not objective. And that's fine. If that's what you do, that's what you do. If that will get you through the day, that gets you through the day. That is not effective for, I need to know. And what I know is that certain things are not real. They might be true to certain people because people live on that truth as a result of their experience. Your brain shows that your experience has more to do with your perceived truth than reality does. But your perceived truth always has to deal with reality. Your truth is always subject to reality, is always subject to the objective reality. Regardless of what your experience with the objective truth is versus subjective truth is. Reality is always subjugated by the objective reality. You can't get past that. If you're using a computer, then you're admitting that that computer is an emission of the objective reality that quantum mechanics work. That is an objective uh, um, uh, um, objective evidence of the existence of science. Therefore, technology is built upon it. There's a cause and effect. If you can't get past cause and effect in relationship to what you think, then it's not real. If whatever means you use, okay, if it doesn't superimpose cause and effect, then it's regardless of what you believe as real, it's not real. If human agency has to fulfill your need, then it was done via human agency and you acted upon some non-local force that acts upon human agency, but it doesn't work outside of human agency and it doesn't work outside of the laws of nature. If I prayed for an apartment and my apartment came to me by way of cause and effect via human agency, then it's human agency. My human agency, my action in regard, that's what I'm talking about in relationship to laws operating regardless of your ignorance of that law. That law, those cause and effect laws are still operating regardless of you knowing them or not. You don't need to know quantum physics for this tablet, for your tablet or your computer or your phone to work. But it does take quantum physics for your telephone or for your smartphone or your tablet to operate. Just like when your landline phone operated, it took laws of science, laws of relativity in relationship to making that analog phone work. It wouldn't operate regardless if you know it or not. You pick up the phone, you dial a number, it goes to one place or not. You don't need to know how it works. It works. That's the advent versus the event. Just because you're not aware of the events that took place in order for the advent to occur doesn't mean that there was no events. There was no cause and effect. I'm not saying that your prayer doesn't work. I'm saying it just works through cause and effect. And just because you don't know the cause and effect that makes it work doesn't mean that cause and effect wasn't involved in it working. Now, if I want to think there's some guy in between that's making every single component of this iPad work, and transfer that information from one place to another, I'm fully capable. I mean, I'm fully not just prepared, but I have every right to believe there's a little guy that's making this technology work. But there's no little guy making this technology work. It is intrinsic aspects of nature, quantum mechanics that's making this shit work. Just like it's making it transfer it from point A to point B, regardless of how much I know or not. Me putting a little guy or putting some invisible guy in the works doesn't mean that there's a little guy making all this work. It doesn't make it real. There's no little guy really making this work. There are cause and effect mechanics that are making it work. Just like your prayer is working through cause and effect of mechanics you're entirely unaware of. That's making it work. Just because you put a little guy in this cause and effect mechanics doesn't mean that there's a little guy in that cause and effect mechanics. Sorry to break it to you like that. That there are scientific reasons why your prayer works. Joseph Murphy breaks it down and calls it scientific prayer, which is a far more functional prayer than your unscientific prayer. That's why your unscientific prayer has more of a placebo effect than actual scientific prayer has more of an accurate effect, like an actual chemical versus the placebo pill, the sugar pill. There is a placebo aspect to the human mechanics or to the conscious mechanics. So we can call this conscious mechanics, which are, you know what I'm saying, even further down than quantum mechanics as far as the atomic structure is concerned. So there is a conscious mechanics at work in relationship to what you refer to as prayer. Just like there's a quantum mechanics at work in relationship to what we refer to as, you know what I'm saying, electronics or digital electronics. And just because you want to believe a little guy is making quantum mechanics work doesn't make quantum mechanics work. Just like Newton wanted to put a little guy at the center of the way in which the laws of the classical mechanics work. There is no little guy writing down the laws that govern classic mechanics, regardless of how much Newton wanted to believe there was a little guy doing it. Doesn't make it real. That's just reality. Sorry. Had to put that out there.